Alright boys, welcome back to the Rank Frost video, and boys, after today, we can say goodbye to this actual tavern because we're now going to be getting a new one featuring Percival because it is now the new beginning. Percival is dropping tonight. I can't believe I'm saying this. I should probably start by saying I'm a massive fan of Fortnite Apocalypse. I mean, it's one of the things that I read weekly. Like, the manga's crazy. I'm probably like the biggest fan, definitely out of the YouTubers, and to be fair, even up there with actual 70 Sins fans. I just love this series, right? So for me, it's a no-brainer. I'm summoning. The guy could be the worst character of the game. I'm still going to be summoning, but let's just run through what he does and if it's even worth summoning. All right, so we'll start off with the banner because the banner surprisingly is pretty good. I mean, once again, it's only missing Gelder, but this is going to be a banner a lot of people are going to be a little bit happy about, right? Percival is the main reason why you're summoning. He is a character that is going to be very good starting second, which is surprising. He's a sub-slot character, works in sub-slot, but also I think the biggest thing about him, and the reason why I'm going to like use him a lot, is just because Escanor, you know, if you're using your new, you know, you are Escanor, if you find another Escanor using typically Gopher, they typically get the kill onto you if you start second, because obviously Escanor has damage cap. A skill 1 and an AoE skill is normally enough to kill another Escanor, where Percival is able to redirect that damage into him, give that damage reduction to where the Escanor can actually survive. So that's kind of the one reason why I love Percival. We'll go for his skin in a second, but this is obviously the banner. It's good. I mean, it is. Look, people tell me it's been out for almost 2 years now, but boys, I promise you lot, I just got him 660 the other day. I finally got the final copy on the free banner. So there's going to be people out there that don't have him. This is going to be a nice pickup. You know, we'd leave it as that, right? But by far the more interesting ones about the banner is the new Diane and the new King that came out this year that obviously were definitely skipped because it was start of the year. We just had, obviously, you know, the new melee. We just had the back-to-back festivals. We're preparing for the first anniversary, or I guess the first anniversary in Global. You know, it was hips, right? It was simple as that, right? But now, the fact that they're both on one banner is perfect. Really hoping we can pull both of them here. Am I going to use them? Probably not. BoxCC, I believe they are actually good on the Sin teams, but once again, we're now getting better Sins, and I think the best Sin team doesn't even have them on it, and plus you still want to get them duped out. It's just, you know, it's just good to have them, and we don't mind it, so I'm very happy they're there. Shin is, I think he's been on one last banner. I'm not too sure what he was on, but I know I did put him on one recent banner. He's still relatively new. You may not have him. That's going to be a good pickup. Chandler and Cusack, only bad thing there. Mono is relatively newer. You may be missing her, but, you know, give me a bit of a bad pull. Same for Camilla. The actual Elizabeth, though, the LR1 is pretty good to be on the banner. Once again, she's a character you want to get duped out because, you know, well, you don't mind duping out, right? Because every single time you get a dupe onto her, you are going to be getting more attack rate stats for when you use it in PvE. So that's always a good pull. And Elette is a character I think she's only ever used in Guild Wars, or Guild Bosses, sorry, and I guess CC matters, so getting more dupes into her is actually a good thing. But yeah, that is basically the banner. Is it good? I give it about 8 out of 10. I mean, it's kind of what we expected, because we know we can't be getting festival characters. It would be a 10 out of 10, maybe even 20 out of 10 if they had managed to put in Gelder with the new Yan and with the King, with obviously Percival. That would have been a, yeah, probably maybe a bit too much, honestly. It's kind of weird to say, but let's go over the characters kit. Alright, so yeah, he is a human character that is going to be buffing up humans and, of course, Sins, which is very weird. I didn't think he'd be an actual Sin buffer. But to give a quick breakdown of the passive, essentially at the start of the turn, you're going to get that Will of Patience for 2 turns, which increases your defense rate stats abilities for each ally, once again, specific ally, so Sin, and, of course, you know, humans. But when he uses a single target skill, he's going to inflict a concentrated attack debuff onto the enemy, which is... We'll go through the skills in a second. For each surviving ally, your HP-related stats is going to go up by 10%. And also, when an ally is dead, and bear in mind this guy works a sub-slot, so you can actually have someone die and him come in, you're going to increase your critical damage by 100%. So yeah, the start of battle, not even the turn, the battle, so this is why it's perfect start a second here. You're going to get the Will of Endurance, which is going to receive focus of damage taken by all allies other than yourself, and immediately recover damage taken. So very much like a... you know, the blue Tarmiel, but if he also had, you know, the Tarmiel grease onto it, the red one. The concentrated attack that he applies manually whenever he does an attack, it's going to reduce the resistance by 30%, which, from what we've seen, isn't the best thing right now, and that's something that I'm looking forward to in the future. Maybe this is preparation for some other humans that are maybe lacking it in the actual crit rate, because right now, Arthur always crits, Escanor always crits, right? So, lowering critical resistance is only really for himself, because... once again, Escanor does need to crit. Well, he does need to crit, but he always crits anyway. So, you know, that's not really helping him out too much here. I do believe this might be for, like, a future proof when we get, like, Donnie, who's going to be human, maybe like a Hauser, like, you know, characters for the future of Fortnite Apocalypse. He is going to be able to hopefully buff up them rather than right now. So yeah, that's basically passive. It is a pretty good one. Like I said, people are actually going second now and actually winning with the human team, which is shockingly right, because the human team normally wants to start first because it does take 2 turns to build up Arthur's actual passive. But yeah, that is the mono green team. Like humans is very fun and something that I'm looking forward to playing around with. But yeah, here are his skills. So his first skill is unique to him. This is Assault, which is going to be 2 times crit rate because of course he is going to get that critical damage increase if he comes in second or comes in the sub slot. Boom, he's going to get that guaranteed actual attack there. But only when it's under the concentrate attack, which you can see is what he's going to be using to apply it, which is the immature slash. It's going to be a single target skill that's going to drain. A little bit unfortunate that he's got this skill because it is a bit boring, but I guess the idea behind it is you want to get a drain, you want to just drain them, get a bit of support skill, and just apply that, because you got to think of it like you're essentially applying the concentrate attacks. So it's almost like a debuff skill, but also drain. So like, it's a weird thing, but yeah, you use the skill first and then you do the single target to get that increased damage. And then the actual ultimate is kind of unique and kind of good actually in a way. So it's going to be something that we've seen before is Sever, but also he's going to give himself attack rate stat ability for 2 turns, and that is basically it, right? Just a buffed up version of course, the Sever. But one thing to note is that he is going to give himself 50% of attack rate stats, and this doesn't scale up the more dupes you get. So that's perfect for free-to players and somebody that wants to get him 1-6 because he's automatically going to be getting that 50%. You don't have to get him towards like 2, 3, 6 to get, you know, a bigger buff. It's always going to be 50%, which is perfect because he's just going to do more damage. But, you know, Sever, it does a lot, and if he's coming in second where he's got that increased crit damage, it's going to kill, I think, most people anyway. Wild is also here. I haven't seen gameplay of him because I'm waiting to see what he looks like in game for myself, because I know he's massive, so I kind of want to see how big he is in game. But yeah, it's a very simple character. Works in the front line. He's just going to buff up Hawk. Hawk is obviously one of the worst characters in the game, so that's not really saying much. A bit of a mean one. I don't know if he's ever going to be usable. He's more or less a PvP character for YouTubers just to get in and use him. And at least for PvE content, I'm not too sure. But yeah, single target drain. He's got the reduced skill effect as well. And his actual ultimate is going to be Sever as well. Very similar to with Percival. Like, they have like the exact same 2 skills. It's just Percival has, you know, the better versions basically. Alright, so should you be summoning? Now, I'm gonna be honest with you lot, I feel like for players that aren't really like a big fan of Percival or just wants Percival as a character, I don't think it's worth summoning. I think if you want to summon, you definitely can because the character is worth it. But do you need the character? Probably not. Once again, we just had obviously back-to-back festival characters. Definitely right now, UR Escanaut is a priority. If you're still summoning for him, if you want to get an extra dupe, you want to still summon his banner. That banner is just by far a priority right now. Just go all in that banner. And yeah, there's no rush to get Percival. Percival is a character that is probably going to be returning almost every single time we get a Fortnite's character, unless they want to start like every, you know, non-festival banner, like every month basically. We're going to be getting a new chapter. We'll wait to see how they're going to handle Fortnite's, but yeah, he's going to return probably a bit more frequently than I say someone like Gelda. Gelda's not returned at all yet, and it's probably rightfully so. She's a broken character. Well, yeah, someone like Percival is a good character. You definitely don't mind getting him, but to chase him, I don't know. I mean, obviously, personally, I'm doing it because I want to get him. He's a good character. But I do feel like right now that Percival is more of a luxury pickup. Like, you can use him, but do you need him? Probably not. So it's really up to you. So it is really up to you if you have the extra currency to go for it. But I'd say what's most likely coming next is either a Ragnarok chapter or also OC chapter, unless they want to do another Fortnite chapter, which might feature Donnie. And once again, if you like characters or certain characters from, of course, Fortnite Apocalypse, then save for those. But yeah, I mean, we don't know what the character is going to be, but if you care about Ragnarok, you care about the Catastrophe storyline, maybe save for that. That's the only thing we can probably predict that's actually going to be coming. And also to run through some stuff coming, they're also re-releasing a bunch of outfits again, so if you want to pick those up, which I don't think anyone's here, well, buying them, to be honest with you lot, but going down here, you have a bunch of all these ones coming back, which I think, if I'm not mistaken, boys, these actual command ones haven't returned in a very, very long time. I've been wanting the Glucksina outfit for such a long time now, and I don't remember seeing it in the shop for like probably like a year or 2 now. So he's got an LR. I think I actually might consider picking it up, and I believe these are actually 30 gems a piece. They were wrongfully discounted on JP. So yeah, those, if you want to pick them up, is basically it. So reworks towards some other stuff too. But yeah, boys, that is basically it for today's video. Good luck in your summons. We are definitely gonna be summoned tomorrow. I cannot wait. I haven't even seen gameplay. Obviously, I've talked to the boys, we've done our podcast, I know how the guy works, I can imagine how the guy works, I've heard the stories, but I've not seen his actual animations. That's something that I'm actually you know, waiting to see for the first time. Like, you know, one of my favorite characters ever in this series. Of course, this is just his, you know, pre-awakening form. You know, we're going to be getting a festival in the future. So I'm not going to go too hard. I'm probably going to do one rotation because, once again, you thankfully don't need to do mount. If I had to get him 6-6, I probably would have likely went a bit further, but yeah, one rotation. Hopefully I get him like, you know, a few deeps just to make him, you know, a bit more special. But yeah, boys, thank you for watching today's video. But I guess it doesn't matter because you're starting second anyway, so yeah, that's sick. Boys, thank you for watching, and yeah.